Yo, this is one of the most artistic toys that I have reviewed and played with in a long time. This is Toyseasy's USS Wisconsin. Far out, right? I can't believe it. And these are the same cats that brought us the Tiger Tank that I reviewed a couple of months back. And like that toy, it has a really historically accurate alt mode and this incredible bot mode that exudes this really kind of like anthropomorphic spirit, you know? Like you feel the soldier inside the alt mode and it's really quite incredible. And if you haven't guessed, her alt mode, meaning the humanoid form, she is the Statue of Liberty. And her crazy spikes not only sit on her crown, you can use it as like a set of spiked knuckles too. Crazy. I'm not gonna lie, when I initially saw her, I was a bit overwhelmed. But after going through the transformation, I'm actually shocked at how simple it is, within reason. She is a shell former, but the shell forming is done really, really nice. Everything compacts very well. There's tons of weapon storage and a lot of play patterns to explore. And normally I don't really get into the accessories or the stand, but this one's different. It really, really enhances the play pattern. And when you're not using it, all the legs and bits, the neck, they actually store away in the base. And as intricate as she is, I'm really shocked at the amount of articulation and poseability that she has. The engineers have done an incredible job. Really, it looks so good in alt mode, bot mode, and I'm just so excited to share this with you guys in today's video. So stick around, grab some popcorn, and let's get into it, Druid. Dude, she's incredible, isn't she? I mean, seriously, such a cool toy. And like I mentioned, her humanoid form, yeah, she's a Statue of Liberty far out, right? And it's totally her. Yeah, got the same like turret shoulder and stuff like that, and the same blasters that I'm going to show you later on. Got the spike crown. I love the red hair juxtaposed with the blue sword of freedom, and then you kind of have the white dress, so you get the red, white, and blue, making me feel all like patriotic. But yeah, dude, beautifully, beautifully done, man. This thing is just so artistic in so many different ways. And it's just a fun toy. There's tons of play patterns to explore. There's so many accessories that I'm going to have to show that to you separately later. These blasters over here, they can store back over here if you want to equip this. These won't sit in the hands, but they will sit on the shoulder, and it'll turn into a turret stand as well. And I'm going to show you that. And if I sound super hype, I am. This is such a cool toy. I won't lie, it's not cheap. And it's definitely not for children because this material is not, it's not vinyl. It's like, it feels like model kit, but like really, really high grade model kit, that type of plastic. You know what I'm talking about? It's a little bit different. It's kind of the stuff that like Fans Project used to use. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. And there's just so many like intricate details. Like, yeah, dude, I don't think a small child has any business really messing with this. Hey, but if you do buy this and you want to give it to your kid, hey, more power to you. Just know they're probably going to break it. And it has these tiny, tiny, tiny turrets over here. Like these are on really thin plastic, and there's a bunch of these. Like all these holes that you see over here, yeah, it comes with the accessories to populate them. And like I said, I will show you later. But there are some on his person, or her person rather, when you get her out of the box. But yeah, this is definitely an adult collector's toy. And so be very, very mindful. And because like I said, it's not cheap. These things over here, these are the blast doors for the turret when you connect them together. But you can have it on her as a shield. And I'll just pop these off for now. And if you wanted to, before you form the turret, you could have this sitting on her shoulder like that. I mean, it's a shame she can't hold it in hand, but there aren't any grooves. Oops, excuse me. There aren't any grooves on the long cannons to sit in the hands comfortably. But let me just kind of show you. It's such a cool look. It's such a cool look. She's gorgeous, and she has a ton of articulation. A ton. Like I was really shocked. And not only shocked, I will say the first adjective that comes to mind when I think about her, I was really overwhelmed. I was incredibly overwhelmed. I mean, she looks so cool because you guys remember the Tiger Tank? I really like that toy. And it's from the same company, Toyseasy. And so I was just like, dude, I want to eventually like mess with her, but like I was just really scared. I was just really worried that like it would be too complex, and she is complex for what she is, but at the same time, it's not. Once you go through the transformation, you'll realize like, whoa, it's actually quite straightforward. It's very intuitive. It's very intelligently designed, and again, just shocking that they're able to do so much with this. And she's a big girl, and that's why I can't really fit her all into the camera right now. Eventually I'm going to get a camcorder that will allow me to zoom out, and also a bigger recording area, but neither here nor there. Everything moves on frictions, all of her joints. She doesn't have any ratchets anywhere like that, and so it would have been nice, but at the same time, not having the ratchets allows her to be like more fluid and get in like different poses. Oops. Yeah, see, if I stand her like all the way up like this, can't really get the entirety of her in the shot. And then the legs also have, what is it? There's a double hinge on the hip. You see that? And so if you see that she's not standing straight, that's because the double hinge like that, it got extended. And so you can just kind of bring that up, and then she'll stand straight. Yeah. It took me a long time to figure that out. I was like, dude, why is she leaning at this side? But anyway, no, she's super nice. She's super duper nice. And big shout out to tfsafari.com who sent this to me for review. If you have any like toy needs, especially like Transformers, first party, third party, fourth party, or you're looking for like upgrades, check out tfsafari.com first before checking out any other site. Do me that favor, okay? But yeah, and they're good folks, you know. They take care of me, and I give you guys toys as well. We do giveaways, and so it's a circle of life type thing. Let me just remove all of this stuff. Yeah, she is a shell former, and but it's really easy. Like once you kind of understand the transformation philosophy. I mean, ultimately the shell, that's what you're trying to align everything. So use the shell to guide you. Use that red bit to guide you. All of these things, you just kind of think about it intelligently. And like, how would I maneuver this? Like, where would this go? And you'll kind of find your way there. This part, it cleans up and it compacts. But this has to this part has to flip over and join this part. So that's a little bit tricky. And there's degrees of asymmetry. Like even though it looks symmetric, this turret over here and this turret over here, they are not in terms of the placement. You can see that she has a single turret over here, so that's going to do something later. And the way this works over here, even though these look kind of identical, you can see that they're offset. One is higher than the other. One has a butterfly shape, and one has not butterfly shape. And so they'll move a little bit differently during the transformation. But for the most part, they've done a pretty good job. And again, dude, just appreciating the paint and the details and just the amount of love and effort, the thoughtfulness. I think that's really the key adjective. The thoughtfulness that went into the making of this toy, not just for the consumer, but also for its creator as well. Like this is a piece of art that they've produced, that they have introduced to the world. And yeah, dude, they deserve all the praise and all the monies and all the good things that come with making a good toy. But before we go into her transformation, I'm going to show you more of the accessories, okay? So regarding the accessories, there's just so much to discuss. But earlier we saw these long cannons, right? And so one of the things that they're going to do is you're going to attach them together. And they are attached at this point right over here. And after you do that, to secure the lock, there's this piece. This will sandwich the two sides together, so you have 1, 2, and then 3 points of connection. And then on the sides, you can add the shields, and they were adhered to the to her shoulder earlier, right? And these are going to be like the blast or whatever type shields. I don't know. I'm not an armaments expert. And this bit will attach to the stand that I'm going to showcase in just a second. This is where she'll grip it. She doesn't have any type of channels for her hand to grip, but she holds it just fine. Yeah, she holds it just fine, and I'll show you all of that. And so this is one of the primary play features, and that is the stand. I really don't pay any mind to stands normally, but like I said, this one is different. This whole bit over here, this whole bit that you're seeing, this giant neck and this small supporting one, all of these are actually encased under here. It's really, really cool. And so when you get this, it's actually clammed up. And these two additional bits that are also hidden within here are the supports for the boat in alt mode. And so, yeah, it's really nice. And let me just show you some images of her using the stand in a variety of ways. All right, so here are the long cannons put together, and they've been mounted on the stand. No ratchets or anything like that, but it holds the weight just fine, and the connection is very, very secure. I do wish the handles had some channels for her to hold, but even without it, she holds it like a champ, and no issues. And when not being used for the turret, you can use it as a toy stand, and that's very cool, because you can put her in some really cool aerial combat poses. And speaking of artillery, she comes with these 2 hand blasters, very, very beautifully detailed and decorated. The paint is done very nice, different shades of gray, gold, and it does have these 2 channels back, or this 1 channel, and I was about to say she has 2 tabs on her hand that will actually fit on the top and the bottom, providing a very, very secure fit. These also will secure on the back of the skirt, and I'll show you that in just a second. But what I don't understand is there's a groove over here, and there is a slot, almost making me think that, like, I don't know, like, can you combine them together? I'm not sure why you would do that, but they do tab in for some reason. One part I know is for the skirt, but yeah, I don't know if there's another reason for that. Sorry for the cutaway, I had to cough. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, it's one thing to have accessories, but to be able to pose with them is another thing altogether. And the built-in articulation, mobility, and fluidity on this character is just absolutely incredible and allows her to get into some really cool stances. And this right here is nuts. Wow. So first of all, these are tiny little turrets for the boats that you can decorate on it, but dude, there's a life raft over here. I don't even know what that thing is. Those might be other little rafts. And there's just so much that you can use and affix to the boat to give it its high level of fidelity and detail. And this is on very thick plastic. It's a lot thicker than the stuff that you would find in gunpla models. And so again, they've gone all out. I don't think I'm going to affix them on the boat because it's just a little bit, I don't know, too much. And also I might sell this. So I'm not going to remove them off the sprues. But yeah, man, crazy. Just a crazy amount of detail in this toy. And here are the remainder of the accessories. You can see there are a ton of blast effects that you can affix onto the bot mode, but also into the boat mode as well. Some additional bits for the boat to kind of add that extra level of detail. Little plumes of smoke and steam. And yeah, man, this kit is totally worth it. Yes, the toy is priced very high, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I think this one is worth it. So if you got a little bit of extra change and you like boat transformers, this might be worth your while. But let's jump into the transformation so that I can show some of her extra goodness that we couldn't see when we're just kind of going over the surface level stuff. Alrighty, I will do my best to transform her from Emery, no, not Emery, memory. But case in point, my brain can only hold so much, like I'm losing words right now, right? My brain can only hold so much from my dealings at work, my personal life, and all this stuff. So oftentimes I'm forgetting stuff left and right. And plus I'm an old guy. And yeah, the hardware is fading, my friends. But you do need a spudger, in my opinion. And one of the things before we get into this, I was going to say, the transformation is not as complex as it looks. I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked about that. And a guiding principle is that you're just trying to line up the red stuff, right? And so, and understanding what's what certainly helps. And so this is going to be the bottom of the ship, and this is going to be the top. And so these don't rotate. They will move up, but they won't rotate. And so you want to use this as a guideline to kind of orient everything. And so we're going to start with the arms. The joints are all very, very tight. They're very, very tight. And when you want to spin this, you will need to have it at very specific orientations to get the spin correct. And so the first thing that you want to do is you want to open this panel up. And I think a good way to do it is that little space right there. Just kind of get your spudger in there and peel that off. And once you peel that one off, this one comes off relatively easily. Okay. And so this bit, and then you're going to open that little panel up that's encasing the fist. And you're going to fish this up. But dude, look at this thing over here. Look how small and detailed that is. That is on the tip of the boat. And it's accurate to design. The fact that they included all of this in such minute detail is just absolutely mind-boggling. And so so you have to fish this out, right? And it's going to be difficult at first. I mean, it's still a little difficult for me, but you got to pay attention to this. You see there's that bar? This goes up and down on that bar. And so when you're fishing this out, and I hope I can do this, you want to pull down on this as much as possible. And hey, it worked. Wow, hooray, thank you, Toy God. And then after this is fully extended, you're going to push this back up like that, and then you can extend this out. And then the fist will fold back over here, and you're going to spin it so that the fingers, and I believe this is correct, they're facing upward, and that they're flush against that panel, okay? And then from here, we are going to, and so now knowing that this is the top of the ship, right? Again, knowing that that's very important because we're going to make sure that we orient that like so. Is that right? No. Sorry. Again, orienting that to the top of the ship. Orienting that to the top. Orienting that to the top of the ship. There we go. All right, now they're all facing the same direction. And then from here, you're going to compress that arm in like that. I feel like it's supposed to do a better job at compressing. Like I want to say that this is supposed to be able to go all the way up here, but well, maybe it's just that. I don't think so because this won't close. Yeah. Give me a second. I think I'm doing something wrong. Obviously, I'm doing something wrong, right? Or hold up for a second. Okay, I found out what I was doing wrong. And so, yeah, I've returned it back to the extended state. Now you're going to compress that, and there you go. That's going to be all facing forward. And now after you've done that, then you can raise this up, and it will compress in properly. And everything is so tight. And then you can see it's already kind of coming together. This is off-center, but it has a mechanism by which it will allow the turret to kind of center. And so, yeah, everything that I just did over here, we will just, and afterward we will close this up after getting all the orientation right. Oh, and we can move this down like that. Just get that right. And then, this is still not fully compressed. There we go. There we go. And there I go, there I go, there I go. Yeah, don't force anything. And if something's clunky and there's collision, just work at it. And you can see how everything is just beautifully compact in there without it being like, without you having to bend or fold or lift up like a zillion panels to do it. Very beautiful, very intelligently done, highly, highly skilled engineers at play and at work over here and now. I'm just going to repeat the process for the other side off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, we got both sides done now. Yeah, and everything is pretty much similar, except that other side does not have this, nor does it have the turret, but that's okay. Okay, all right, we're getting there. Let's see. I guess we can work on this bit. So this will lift up, and this will actually, I don't know if I actually have to do the top part first. Maybe I do. But these are asymmetric. And you can see that there are hinges over here, right? Because what you want to do is you want to bring this out and over. And same thing for the other guy as well. And you want to bring that out and over and have it sit back so that it sits flush like so, right? And then you can kind of bring these back over here. Now, what's gonna happen is, you see these panels? They are going to lie flush with that. I always get lay and lie confused. I always try to tell myself I'm going to lie down and I'm going to lay the book down, but I always get confused. And, you know, I'm an American. I lived here all my life, but yet my grasp and mastery of language is far from perfect. All right. So we're going to get the head, and that's going to pop in there nice and easy. And so this, you see these turrets? I mean, I guess it's easier if I just remove them, but you don't have to. But for the sake of the transformation and my own sanity, I will. And what you're going to do is you're going to have this lift up and sit behind this. And so, oh, you know what? The bottom of the turret didn't come off. So you see what I did? Just kind of lifted all of that up. And then once you do that, you're going to straighten these bits up And it's not as much as a nightmare as it looks like right now. It's just because, you know, I'm only using one hand and I have to hold this in place for the review. And this will secure and lock into place. Then you can bring this up, and then that will tab in to the top. Then you can just straighten up these panels necessary. Cool, right? And I'm not going to mess with the turrets right now because we can position them later. But yeah, so that's the top of the warship. Yeah. Let me just step away just for a second, and yeah, I'll be right back. All right, cool. So I'm back, and sorry, I'm just checking the time right now because I got to step away in a second. This is gonna come down later, but you know what? Maybe I'll do that later, and then we can focus on the legs, the regs. These bits, they will push up to the side of the abs, those side skirts. You want to get them out of the way. The legs are something else. Oh, and one thing I was going to say, dude, the instructions, dude, they suck, man. They're really bad. For something as quote unquote as complicated as this, they really do a poor job of explaining things. And so I had to consult some videos that I've seen on YouTube and stuff, and they weren't in English, and so I had to just kind of figure my way around. But yeah. So anyway, remember what I told you about aligning this hull? Aligning the red. They don't really tell you what to do, but understanding that, you're like, all right, this probably has to turn, right? And then you're like, all right, well, this probably has to turn. And none of that is really explained, but that's what you're going to need to do in order to start lining this up. And same thing for the feet. You can see that this is the top, so you can probably recognize what's going to happen to the feet in principle, right? And so I guess I can start working on the toe. This will hinge forward. This will hinge forward like that. And there's a lot of these lever type things on this toy, like a lot. And it's necessary for the sake of the transformation. And so this part over here on the toe, you're going to fish out. It is tabbed in and it's pretty tight and secure, which I can appreciate because I don't like having these flappity things by the feet. I like everything to be very secure. And you're going to bring this out again on another lever, and this too you will bring out on the lever. I'm trying to recall how this orientation is. I think it's going to be like that based on where the red is, right? And so you bring this out, then this will tab in like so. Yeah. And then this, and now you see how there's a gap. Don't try to flatten it. There's going to be a piece that's going to fill in all of that. So now here we're going to open this up, and there's that piece, that bar. And before we get ahead of ourselves, this bit, you'll open up, and then there's going to be a little panel that you need to fish out over here. And this bit you will also loosen up. It's not on a very long panel, a lever, but it is. And so what you're going to do over here is this, you will move forward. You'll move forward and you will have that tab into the side of the ship. Very good, right? And so on this lever, you see how there's little like slots, right? That is what's going to tab in to these bits. So you can just kind of like lift it up a little bit as you bring this. Oh, totally forgot. Wait a minute. Did I like lock this in place right now? Yeah, before you do all of that, give me 1 second. I got to undo something. All right, sorry about that. This thing that I mentioned, this we are going to hide. You're just going to flip that around. It is on a ball joint. And you are going to just bring that around on this side. And there is a tab, and that will just secure in place. I think that's so cool, man. So unnecessary, but for the sake of artistry, necessary. So again, kudos to these guys. I have a tremendous amount of respect for this group. And now we can start kind of putting all of this stuff together again. So the panel's out. This locked into place. This moving. Dude, maybe I do this last. So this bar, you want to lift up and have it sit above the teeth like that. And then you can close this up, sandwich that. Yeah, there you go. Order of operation, order of operation. And now you can bring that in like so. And then you can bring that in, but make sure that this front lip tabs in like that. And just kind of clean it up a little bit. That's clean, right? And even look on the inside. That's just so clean. No flippity floppity stupidness. Not overly engineered. Just crisp, no fat, efficient, effective. I love that. I love that. I love that. And so this is going to cascade down on the side. And as you're doing that, you're going to free up. You're going to free up this bit. And just have that prepared over there. And this is going to come in and sit like that. Let me just get this lined up. There you go. And then you can bring this. And everything will like kind of sit and tab into place. And there you go. And I'm just going to do the same thing that I did for this leg on the other side. I will repeat the process. And I'll be right back. And once you put them together, there's a couple of other things that you need to do. And we'll go from there, okay? All right, in 5 minutes, I have to start work. I have to start my day. But I will show you how the legs come together. And the beautiful asymmetry that they make symmetric. So you can see over here that this has this like this lever panel thing that you can lift up. And then these you're gonna lock together. The thighs will lock together. Everything will lock together. Yeah, everything, right? Including this bit. And I just want to make sure that I'm lifting up these bits. And this is going to come forward. And this bit is going to swing into the middle. And you're going to lift that up just ever so slightly. And then these will sit together. And then once you've gotten it over to the middle, this will actually set down. And then this will also seat and sit right there. And now everything has become symmetric. How neat is that, right? Brilliance, just brilliance. And look at the amount of detail on this baby. Oh my gosh. Absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. And it'll look even better once I adorn it. Well, I'm not. But if I were to adorn it with all those additional bits, it's just going to look even cooler, right? And I know I said I got 5 minutes, and I do. Oh, one of the things fell off, so I'll just remove that for now. This is going to flip over. The arms are going to close, and then oh, I forgot to do one bit. Yeah, I did this last time. This is supposed to sit under here, so I'm going to have to undo all this beautiful stuff that I just did right now, especially this panel with this panel. And so I'm going to have to do that later because, like I said, I got to start work. And so I was about to say, take care of you guys. Thanks for watching. All right, I'm gonna cut away to work, and I'll be back during my lunch break, I guess. So like 4 hours later. All right, 3 hours later. All right, so I'm on my lunch break, and yeah, I undid it, and I got this side in. And so what you need to do is you got to make sure that this portion sits underneath here. And there's a little bit of collision, but if you get the spacing right, you can avoid all of that. And so what you need to do is, oh geez, I just did it a second ago. You have to be able to bring, so yeah, I'm trying to be careful so as not to mess up the paint. Dude, I just did it. I just did it a second ago. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm sure there's a much better way than what I just did. There's a better way to do what I just did. But yeah, you essentially have to slip it under, and then you got to make sure that make sure that these are squeezed in so that this panel can tab into the side of the thigh. Otherwise, you are going to have issues. Oops. And I don't know why I'm having so much trouble right now with this. I literally just did this on the other side, and I don't know why I'm having so much difficulty getting this to tab in. I mean, the legs are squeezed together. There we go. Anyway, I don't know why that gave me so much trouble. And after you're done doing that, there's probably a better way to do it, but and after you're done doing that, then you can, oh my gosh, finally, you can squeeze that up front. And then now you can reposition all the stuff that we had before. This will go down over here, and these two panels will tab in together. Lordy, why are we having so many issues right now? Why? You know, it's really quite smooth, and so it makes me think, like, did I do something wrong? There we go. There we go. That took way too long. And then this, you're going to make sure to flip. And then you're going to bring this side panel out. Dude, when I did this side, it was so buttery smooth. And I don't know why I'm having so much issues with that side. It's kind of making me annoyed. All right, so we're going to prepare that. And this bit, you're going to lift up. And this was previously plugged in. Those posts, those pegs were in here. And now you can see the spine. And that's really cool, right? Reminds me of something out of like Evangelion. Just want to straighten this up. Okay. Oh, and this bit, you want to, eventually, you're going to move that down. Over there. Yep. Okay, so far so good. Then we're going to get the arms and we're going to bring that forward. This is going to be, huh? No. This, no. Maybe I can just, okay. Yeah, I was able to bow it out a little bit and get that in there because it will tab in to the sides, but it's got to make sure you line everything up properly. Dude, it's right there. This is not what I want to be showing you on camera, and I just spit out something from my mouth. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to bring this bit together. Be mindful of this, of course. Make sure everything is oriented properly. Oh, so on the bottom, these things are dovetail tabs, and so you do have to fit them. Like it'll slide over. The connection is very secure, but not gonna lie, it makes it kind of difficult to undo once you actually get that in there. But yeah, so okay. I was like, be mindful of that. Make sure you give this a good squeeze. This is going to be one of the last pieces. And so once you do that, now you can close this up and tab that in. You can tab that in. And you're going to swing all of this back. But I think you can... you can swing this around now. What you're going to do is you're going to lift this. You're going to lift it up. And you're going to orient this back. And there's a double pivot on there. And once you get it right, there are 2 slots underneath the turret that will allow you to press it down, and it'll sit on there. It's supposed to sit on that a little bit better, but it's not. At this point, I don't have any more patience, and so I'm just going to accept everything as is, and we're just going to press everything down, being mindful not to hit any of these turrets because they're on very small plastic pieces. And pretty much that is it. We can raise these up. Pretty much that's it. And like I said, there's a bunch more of these that you can adorn on the ship. Like all the areas, they all have specific things that plug in, but I'm not trying to do that right now. But at least we can see the ship in all of her glory. Magnificent, isn't it? Absolutely magnificent, except this part's not plugged in. Okay, it wasn't plugged in on the other side either. Just secure everything down. There we go, there we go. Magnifique. Magnifique. Cleans up really nice, doesn't it? For what it's worth, considering like all that we're able to see. Oh, I almost dropped her. In robot mode, all that articulation, all that cool poseability, all that design, everything just streamlined, fit into this, elongated, fitting into this beautiful ship. Everything's clean. No crazy fussy transformation. I mean, like this part where I was having difficulty on, it's more me than anything. There is a specific order of operation where you can avoid all of that collision, and the transformation's not bad. And that's coming from me, like someone who has a tremendous amount of difficulty transforming toys, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm not even like a alt mode, like warship enthusiast or something like that, but this is just really nice. And at quick glance, unless you were to stare intently at it, you're staring at it far away, you might just think that this is somebody's model ship, you know? Some ship enthusiast who put this together. You may not even know. But on closer inspection, you'd be like, wait a minute, what's going on there? And you'll see it. But yeah, man, this video, I'm not going to lie, was a bit of a chore for me to put together because I was trying to do a better job in presenting this thing to you because I felt like she deserved it. Not that the others don't, but anyway, I'm going to stop spinning it around because there's not much else that I can show. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I want to go eat lunch. I'm very hungry. But thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys another time. And if you want to see me present these in a better manner, or like, you know, want to provide critique and stuff, I'm always open to constructive criticism. Don't be a jerk about it, but I'm happy to receive feedback. Yeah. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.